Hi, and I'm going to give you a preview presentation with three excellent students here about management and entrepreneurship major. So I want to give you a little bit of background of myself. I'm Fiona Ji. I'm a full-time lecturer in management and entrepreneurship department. And I'm mainly teaching strategy and innovation and international management. I've been teaching management for over 15 years. And this is really rooted based on my experience in management consultant and business development. I also have my PhD degree in management and then my master degree in management and science in France. So we have three excellent students who join here today to give you their perspective. So first, I want them to introduce themselves, where they are coming from, and then later we'll listen to more about their experience in Santa Clara University. So first, I want to go to Aidan. Hi, Aidan. You want to give your introduction here to our students?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name is Aidan Fromm. I'm a senior business and management major from Missoula, Montana, so a little bit further away. I actually chose Santa Clara because, coming from Montana, I said, get me out of here. I want to go where there's more people, right? So I went down to California, and on my first visit there, I was like, this school's like a resort. There's palm trees everywhere. It was amazing. So that already is a big draw for me. But then being in the middle of Silicon Valley, it's kind of like the perfect place to be for business. So I thought this is my number one choice. And so after that, I applied early action, and here we are.
So now I want to go to Isabella. You want to introduce yourself?
My name is Isabella. I am from Culver City, California. I am a junior management major with a minor in entrepreneurship. Different than Aidan, I am from California, so I didn't want to leave. And the campus is really beautiful, and I really felt the sense of community when I came and visited. So that was a really big point of my decision to come here. And then, like he mentioned, being in the Silicon Valley, I knew that there would be a lot of opportunities for internships and post-grad options when I was looking for full-time jobs.
So thank you, Aidan and Isabella. So now I will go to Faolan. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. So my name is Faolan Sugarman-Lash. I am a senior management major and entrepreneurship minor as well. I am from Richmond, Massachusetts, which is a super small town, and I wanted to get out of the small town world and into Silicon Valley, which is a fast-paced environment, which is surrounded by all kinds of really awesome opportunities. And I came to visit Santa Clara, which was my first time ever visiting California, actually. And it was just such an amazing experience for me to see the campus, see the people, and I realized that all the people here are genuine and willing to help and want to be really good people. And that was why I chose Santa Clara, because I wanted to be surrounded by people who would help me be a better person.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing your experience here. And so I think you give us a really good overview in terms of why people choose and Santa Clara University. And so here I want to give you a little bit of highlights about what our program goal and mission is here and to serve students. And so for Levy School of Business, we really focus on in terms of this interaction of education and the business. You can hear from our students why they choose Silicon Valley and Santa Clara University. It's really this bridge between education and the business experience. Another thing really you can find in Levy School of Business is we want you to develop skill to adapt to the rapid changing environment. We focus on developing your skills, develop your mindset, and we want to transform people, idea, and organizations. And we also give students the opportunity to apply what they learn in the classroom in real time. Like the three students mentioned, that one of the reasons they choose to come here, later they will also share their perspective regarding to how they actually apply those learning into the real world experience. So last but not least, you heard from our students, they choose Silicon Valley because of the weather, because of the opportunities, and we also want to really develop your Silicon Valley entrepreneur spirit, and you will definitely find that here in Silicon Valley, Santa Clara University, particularly Levy School of Business. So why Santa Clara University? We are offering quite a small class size. And so the average class size here, and especially in Levy School of Business, is 28 students. You don't often find that in the large research-based universities. And then we also have accessible professors. So the classes are not taught by the research assistants, as you often find from other institutions. And the professors are available to answer students' questions, provide the opportunity for students in the classroom, outside the classroom. And we also offer Silicon Valley advantage here. Again, that's one of the reasons why you come here to Santa Clara University, because we are centered in Silicon Valley, and we embrace those Silicon Valley advantage in the classroom and on campus as well. We are offering a lot of opportunity for students to develop their professional skills. We are offering like an opportunity for students to get internship in those different businesses. We are offering speak series. We are offering company tours, alumni network. Later, our students will share their experience and their perspective about those opportunities as well. So why Levy School of Business? And so again, as I mentioned earlier, and here we emphasize the interaction between business education and the real world experience. So we definitely want you to have that rich experience here. And we also want to provide the opportunity for you to think about important questions. That is what we call critical thinking skills. Like I said earlier, we want to transform you by developing your skills and the mindset. And we really focus on real world experience here. So you often find in the classroom, you are not just centered to the case studies. You will be going out of the classroom to really apply the knowledge into the real world experience through a lot of opportunities provided by our faculties and our school. And we want you to build that strong community feelings when fully engaged in this dynamic business environment. Last but not least, we do have a high quality faculty and students here. Then you can start building your network at an early stage of your career development with those faculties and other students as well. And why study management and entrepreneurship? So I'm from a department of management and entrepreneurship, so I want to give you some perspective of that. So our department is dedicated to give students a holistic view of business. We want students to develop the skill to really see all those business aspects together. We want to develop students analytical skills, and they can do project management. More importantly, we want students to really lead through people. So students usually develop really strong team skills and leadership skills. We also want you to develop skills to adapt to the rapidly changing environment. That's one of the key emphases in our department as well. We are offering classes and professional development for students to develop their leadership skills and the negotiation skills. Later, you can hear that experience from our students. If you have specific interest about human resources management, you really want to work for family business, you want to work for startup firm or innovation unit in large organizations, you really want to go out to the global market to learn about international business, this is the place for you. So now I want to turn to one of our students here, Faolan. You want to talk about why you choose management and entrepreneurship major, and maybe you can share like one of the classes and you take from here.
Yeah, sure. So I chose to be a management major because going through the business school, you get a really broad experience with a lot of different parts of business. We learned finance and accounting and marketing, and I actually did not know what I wanted to major in until I had to go abroad, and you have to pick your major when you go abroad. And I was thinking about what is important to me, and it's all about people for me and understanding how people work together and how to lead people well. And I realized that the management major would be a really good path forward for me to learn how to lead organizations, both from a charismatic side as well as like an analytical side. So learning kind of the ins and outs of how people work together has been really fascinating. And one class specifically that I had for that was with Faolan, which was the Management 160, which I think is the organization of business. And it was a really, really awesome class where I got to learn all about the analytical side of people management and organizational behavior. And it really ignited a passion in me for that whole field. And now I actually might go to grad school for it at some point. So it's really been a cool journey, and picking a major is really intimidating, but choosing management was definitely correct for me.
I'm so glad to hear that. And I'm also glad to hear about your experience in management in organization, management 160 class. And I also heard, Aidan, you had a good experience in some of those classes really focused on managing through people as well. Would you like to share some of your experience or tell us one of your favorite class here?
Yeah, absolutely. So just like Faolan, that Management 160 class was one of my favorites. I really enjoyed it as well. I had a different professor and still had the same kind of experience with it. That being said, though, one of my favorite classes that I'm in actually right now is negotiation. And I think that it's probably one of the most applicable classes I've ever taken, probably because what you learn is that you negotiate every single day, right? So it's not just in business, it's not just with certain deals, it's every day you're going through a negotiation in some way, shape, or form, right? And so I would say that the applicability of the classes that I've taken in the management program are something that it allows you to learn for business, but also allows you to learn for just kind of your whole life in general.
So our classes are taught by the top scholars from the field and also the professionals in the large organizations. So our faculties here definitely are dedicated to student development, and they are also focused on like in terms of the content related knowledge and the skill development in their field. So I also want to give you some perspective in terms of what are the courses offered through our management and entrepreneurship department. So we are offering classes and which all the business students are taking. And those classes include ethics, organizational behavior, international business, management in organizations. This is management 160 as Faolan and Aidan just shared their experience with, and also strategic analysis. So our department is really focused on in terms of both analytical skills and also people skills here. We also have a list of electives here. And so the courses are not limited to just this list and you are seeing. This is just giving you some examples. Our faculties are constantly developing new courses, new electives, which are tied to what is required and in terms of the real business and from our students. And so I believe a lot of you are really interested in terms of what is the career path students can take after graduation, right? So like I said, our department are dedicated to develop student entrepreneur spirit. So you can see students after they graduate, they often go to some of those startup firms to really continue build their entrepreneur skills. And we also have like a student who graduate and go into those larger corporations and then work in those cross-functional positions and like VP operation and risk management. And also we have students who go into consulting field, such as management consultant and also other analytical consultant related jobs. And so majoring management entrepreneurship will give you a really good a variety of different choices, and you can start building your career development. So on the right side of this slide, you can see for the last few years, and those large organizations actually hire from our department, and students who are really interested in going those larger firms and majoring in management and entrepreneurship, this is a good choice for you. Now I want to turn to Isabella, and Isabella has been having a variety of different internship experience. So I want to hear her perspective regarding to how majoring in management and really help her in terms of in those internship positions. Isabella?
Yeah, so for me, management has opened up a lot of different doors for me in terms of internships, and I haven't really felt tied down to one specific job that I can do. So last summer I was at Cisco as a business analyst. I was able to use analytical skills. I worked with engineers, I worked with designers, and many parts of the business. And then right now at Adobe, I'm at Adobe right now as a part-time intern in their legal department. And in this role, I'm working with teams both based across the US as well as teams in Europe and South America and all over the world. So that's really where those communication skills come into play, and how do you work in teams not only that are located in your same region, but also across the globe. And I also really think that the negotiation skills and being able to adapt to different situations, work with people who have different personalities have been really valuable in the experiences that I've had. So I really think that I've obviously had really diverse experiences, like many different roles, and I really think that the management major has given me the opportunity to explore all those different opportunities.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience. I'm glad to hear that you were able to and you are able to apply those learnings into those internships. And so again, this is a good opportunity and for the student to major in management and entrepreneurship to really look for different opportunities and at the early stage of your career development. So in our department, and we also host 2 minors, which are offered to all the business students. So entrepreneurship minor is the largest minor in Levy School of Business here. So student major in other field and also in our department and can actually take 3 required classes and along with a list of elective classes to really build more entrepreneurship spirit, entrepreneur skills, entrepreneur mindset, and also we offer a lot of good entrepreneurship opportunities for students to really engage with the real world like entrepreneurship and experience. So now I want to go to Faolan, and you are a minor in entrepreneurship. And would you like to give us some perspective and share some of your experience and minor in entrepreneurship?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually love the entrepreneurship minor so much. I think it's one of the most valuable things that I've done at Santa Clara. It's taught me how to think very systematically through problems in terms of what the problem is and how I can figure out a solution, and then how I can market that solution. So whether that's a business idea or whether it's just something I'm trying to figure out in my own life, it helps me think about things systematically. And beyond that, I've gotten the opportunity to work directly with venture capitalists. I did a competition last year where some other students and I went to Google and we basically were VCs for a day. So that was a really cool opportunity. We got to do a bunch of due diligence looking into these startups, working directly with entrepreneurs, and then pitching to VCs about which company we would invest in. So that was an amazing opportunity. Beyond that, the Chioka Center is a new center at Santa Clara, and it's the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. And it's a really, really cool part of the school that offers some new opportunities like a business pitch competition every year and the Bronco Venture Accelerator, which is a new program that basically funds Santa Clara based startups. So anyone who's from Santa Clara, any students, faculty, or alumni can start a business and then get funded by the school to continue working on that business over the summer. So a really cool opportunity, and it's going to really increase Santa Clara entrepreneurship, and I'm excited to see what happens.
I'm so glad to hear about the experience. I think it reflects again and the program goal for our Levy School of Business. We really want to develop student skills through all those like experience, not just learning the cases and also like those content from the textbook. So I'm so glad that you share all those experience. That sounds really interesting and fun. So another minor, which is hosted in our Department of Management and Entrepreneurship, is international business. As you heard from some of our students, and they really enjoy those like a study abroad and experience. Later, I will go to Aidan to hear about your experience about study abroad. So international business minor is really dedicated to develop student skills and to work as a global leader later in the global market. So again, there are 3 required courses students can take and from our department, and there are also a list of elective classes students can take from a variety of different classes in Levy School of Business. Again, the purpose here is to really develop student skills here. So again, those like classes are not just offered through textbook and a lecture and all those case studies. So students actually get the experience to really get in touch with those business in the real world. So Faolan, you want to talk a little bit about global fellow experience from some of your friends, also the global fellowship experience you took from another center?
Yeah, so I participated in what's called the Global Social Benefit Fellowship, which is different than the Global Fellows Program, which is tricky to understand. But basically, the Global Fellows Program is through the Santa Clara Business School, and it sends students over the summer abroad all around the world, from Uganda to India to South America, and to basically work with businesses in developing communities where they can get hands-on experience working all around the world with stakeholders who actually really need the help. So it's a really, really cool opportunity to learn all about business in a way that you can't really learn about in the US, and especially not in Silicon Valley. But you get to apply those Silicon Valley mindsets to companies all around the world to make sure that they're helping their people the best they can. And it's honestly a really humbling experience too, just to go around the world and learn that we don't know everything and that it's important to integrate into community and build empathy for people. So it was a really cool opportunity for me, and I highly suggest looking into it if you're interested in getting global engagement.
I'm so glad to hear about that. I think from your perspective, we learn more about those student experience in global fellow programs and offered in our Levy School of Business and also outside our school. And because we emphasize students skills and how they can apply those in the global market. And more importantly, we also want to develop student skills to ask the right question when they are in another world and make impact. So thank you so much for sharing all your perspective here. I think from these preview sessions, we give you this idea in terms of how our Levy School of Business and how our Department of Management and Entrepreneurship can help students to develop, again, skills, mindset. And we are dedicated to develop the critical thinkers for the future who are innovative, creative, analytical, and conscientious. We definitely are dedicated to develop the leader for the near future. So again, if you have further questions, please don't hesitate to contact our undergraduate business office, and they will be more than happy to answer your question, give you more perspective here. And we also update our information and through our website. So please check it out. So thank you for your time, and thank you for our students' efforts and time. And I'm also inspired by all your passion and experience. Thank you so much.
Go Broncos.